Hi there, I'm Una. You're very welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm creating two cards to show that you can use a foliage die to create a wreath for a Christmas card or a stamp set. For the background to the first card, I'm using a Tonic Studio Snowflake stencil, a distress ink tumbled glass and a battery-operated makeup brush. I was introduced to this concept by Kathya Kalinine and I will link to her video down below. I also list my supplies below the video. And if you enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. That's really important for the success of a channel. I'm using a very light hand because I don't want this to be too intrusive on the background of the card. The lighting in my video actually makes it look lighter than it is in real life. There is release foam embedded in this die, and if you would like to know why or how I did that, I will link to a video in the top corner. I calculated that it took me 5.06 minutes to assemble these bits and pieces. Now for me, that's a really fast card. I use a favourite tool of mine, press and seal, to pick up all the little die cuts. This is a really handy way to pick up lots of small bits and pieces, apply glue to them and then return them to the card panel without upsetting them and being able to work with them all together. I cut little pieces of double-sided foam for random holly leaves, and this gives it a lovely organic feel. I trim down the panel, then adhere Icon Crafts red gemstones as berries. This Studio Light stamp set has a lovely bell with holly. I use Versamark ink to stamp that bell after using my anti-static powder bag because I want to heat emboss with gold tinsel powder. This is a lovely shiny embossing powder. I use alcohol markers, Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, to colour the image. I just speed through it, doing nothing special. I use a gold marker to colour the bells, a grey marker for the gong, a white jelly roll pen to add some light highlights. I fussy cut it out, leaving a white edge. Then attach it to my card with some nice thread. I don't know about you, but I have lots of things like this in my stash that I can't resist when I go into a shop and I see something really shiny and glittery like this. This thread is so super fine you can hardly see it in the video. I tied a knot in it, then pulled the ends like you would florist ribbon so that they would just dangle on top of the bells. I had these in my stash. I made them up for a previous video, a Concord and 9th alphabet set. Really gorgeous, and I thought it was the perfect addition for this card. I used double-sided tape to adhere it to a square card base, and I'm very satisfied with that. For the second card, I'm using a tool actually produced by Kathya. This is a simple circle creator, and you just turn it in your stamping tool to create the wreath. I turn it twice on each turn. There are 8 rotations, but I'm doing 4 stampings of this Bountiful Branch set from Altenew. I'm using the solid image first, and I'm stamping it twice to get a good image, and stamp again. The inks are also from Altenew. I list them down below the video. 1, 2. The tool I'm applying pressure with is one I made myself. It's the top of a perfume bottle adhered to a wood mount block. It's really effective. It sits comfortably into my hand and applies perfect pressure to the lid of the stamping tool. I'm using the second layer there. These layers all add a very special touch to this stamping set, and I leave in this middle layer of the leaves just to let you see how the process works. I don't leave it in for the third layer. This is the third layer. This stamp piece is really important. It is the branch that links the leaves and the berries. I use Memento Rich Cocoa ink and I stamp it twice. I do the 4 turns until I have the branch complete. The berries come next. I use the folder that comes with the stamp as a guide. I start with coral berry, and watch out for the mistake. And I noticed what I had done just before I applied pressure. It didn't ruin the project by any means, but I could have done. After all the work I had put into this up until now, I would really have been upset if I had pressed too hard and had spoiled the image. But I was able to salvage it by just adding some extra ink to the berries that were out of place, and in the end you wouldn't even notice them. The second 2 layers that come in the set for the berries add gorgeous depth to this image. Following inspiration I got from Jennifer Maguire when she made a video using this stamp set 2 years ago when it came out, I decided to add this blue around the edge of the image. And I think it looked really gorgeous. But it needed more. It needed to be raised, I felt, off the card to give depth and dimension. So I took my precision scissors, Fiskars precision scissors, and cut it out. And then I played around with a few ideas. I thought I was going to use this green panel, and I decided I needed to cut out the centre as well. So I did that again with my Fiskars scissors, cutting into the inside of the card carefully so that I could grip it and cut it out without damaging the card. Like I say, I play around with colours to see what I'm going to do, and I decided that I would go ahead with this panel. Not in the end, mind you, but at this stage I thought I was going to use it. I stamped the greeting and cut it out with my scissors, leaving a white border. This is what I went for in the end, this recycled rag paper, bright white. And I'm using a technique I haven't used for years, tearing paper. Rag paper really reacts well to being torn in this fashion. You just get a nice fuzzy edge. I played around with the placement that I wanted. I was happy with that. Let it dry and then applied the season's greetings. I added some gemstones randomly around the card. And now I should have folded the card earlier. A bit dangerous to be doing it at this stage, but I did it successfully and I was really pleased with the card. And the first card was a delight to make, and it was such a quick project. So those are the 2 cards for today. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to leave a comment down below, I'd love to talk to you. Ring the bell below the video and YouTube will notify you when I upload my videos. All the best for now. Bye. Take care.